So I've often said that newer isn't always better. Case in point, Waspinator. I have the Thrilling 30 Waspinator and I love it. I've always thought that it is pretty much a quintessential version of that character. And I wasn't going to get the Kingdom one. Had no intention. Saw it, passed it over. But our buddy Ultra Megatronus thought different and really wanted to kind of get my take on this guy. Hence and enter Kingdom Waspinator. Was never planning to get this guy. Was never planning to take a look at it. Is he good? Is he bad? Are there things that I prefer here? How is he across the board? We're about to find out, as this guy's our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is the Kingdom Waspinator. And like I said, I wasn't planning to get him. I had no intentions of getting him. I saw him like in store, and my immediate thought was, I feel like the purple's too deep. I know. Some people have said, yeah, but he had purple in Beast Wars, but I feel like that was more metallic or something. I don't know. It didn't feel in his eyes, on his wings, on his chest. The purple there didn't feel as pronounced as this purple. Now, purple's my favorite color, so I'm okay with it, to be honest with you. But I looked at it and I thought, this is more animated Waspinator to me than it is Beast Wars Waspinator. Now, before anybody pipes up and says, yeah, but it's a Kingdom Waspinator, it's not Beast Wars, let's be realistic. We're all going to compare it to the animation we know, and the animation we know is Beast Wars. So let's get that out of the way right away. I'm not going to split hairs. We do have an animation model, and that's what this is intending to hearken to, whether people want to justify it or not. There are definitely some deco things here that I prefer over Thrilling 30. There are definitely some deco things here I don't prefer over Thrilling 30. And we're going to talk about all of that. Function-wise, I think it's pretty good. Transformation-wise, well, we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot here to unpack, especially when, I don't have him here, especially when we compare him to the Thrilling 30, which we will do fairly in-depth, especially since we are getting, as of this recording, as far as I know through my sources, not one but two more versions of this guy. Not as Waspinator, two more versions of this mold, I guess I should say. Is it good enough to warrant that? Is it? Well, we're about to find out, because we're going to head over to the table and we're going to take a closer look at this guy. Remember when I said I was done with the Kingdom line and that I was skipping Wave 4 because I didn't want Shadow Panther because I do not like that Cheetor mold, and I was happy with my Thrilling 30 Waspinator, so I wasn't going to look at this guy. Well, Ultra Megatronus, big shout out to him, good friend of the channel, thought different and thought I should take a look at this and said it's just that good. Well, I guess we'll see. Guess we will see, because I've always liked the look of my Thrilling 31 better. We'll see how this goes, but of course, before we can jump into Waspinator himself, we have to take a look at that packaging first. And here indeed we do have some nice packaging. Of course, we have Waspinator as a wasp here on the front. And up here on the side, we have Waspinator in his robot mode, and over here we have everything on the back. Now, I will say this, I feel like the deep purple is a nod to animated Waspinator more than it is Beast Wars. I'm not saying the Beast Wars doesn't have purple, though I don't really remember purple. I'm going to give benefit of the doubt, of course, but I don't feel like it's as deep of a purple as this. Like, it's not a shade color that I necessarily think of when I think of Waspinator. And I mean, maybe I could be wrong. I can certainly open to that. I guess I always took it more as like a blue or a clear or something like that. But you know what? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, that's the way that the packaging looks. Of course, inside the packaging, we got ourselves a collector's card. This, of course, is another Optimus Prime. And when you pull it back, this one is Nemesis Prime. Bet you thought I was going to say Dead Prime, because most of the times I've gotten an Optimus card has turned out to be Dead Prime. These are the instructions. They're effective enough, I guess. I don't really know if you need instructions for this guy too much. Like, he's fairly intuitive, really. And not for nothing, but did you notice when we were looking at the packaging that it still had good old plastic in the window? The long gone days of the plastic window. Oh, how I miss thee. Okay, so we're going to deal with the elephant in the room right away. Thrilling 30 Waspinator next to the Kingdom Waspinator. I looked at the Thrilling 30 Waspinator way back, about 5-6 years ago, in episode 195. Actually, it was in the fall, so I'm going to say about 5.5 years ago, in episode 195, a long time ago. And I'm pretty sure he probably scored well because, quite frankly, I do like him. Here's the thing. I think that the most ideal Waspinator is actually somewhere between these two. So, I don't think either of them are perfect. I think that both of them are about an 8.5, maybe a 9, but in different ways, if that makes sense. So starting from the very top, because I actually went back and done some research here. Starting from the very top, the head of the kingdom is the better looking head. I will admit that his eyes are purple. Actually, they're more of a purpley bluey mix, but we'll say purple. And it's not quite as deep as this purple, but they are purple, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I actually always thought they were more the bluish, but I'll give the purple. So the head of the kingdom is better, especially with the yellow and black antenna above his head. The arms, or the upper arm of the kingdom is better with the yellow shoulder. The forearms of the Thrilling 30 seem to be better, especially with the 2 legs here, and the legs are very tiny, just like they're supposed to be on his arm. Tiny. The main torso. I feel like the main torso of the Thrilling 30 looks better. Like, I feel like it looks more quintessentially Waspinator than the Kingdom one does. The Kingdom one seems a little more stylized. The Thrilling 31, right down to the 2 antennae right here, they're the right shape, the right segments. They're thin like they're supposed to be. I feel like the antenna on the Kingdom one are a little too thick. Then we get to the, I'll say the pelvis. I like the pelvis of the Kingdom one better because there's a rotation, but I like the thighs of the Thrilling 30 better because of the deeper yellow and the cleaner black lines. Then for the lower legs, I like both tie, I would say, for the lower legs, to be honest with you. If I was to give an edge to one, I would give the edge to the Thrilling 30. And the feet, I give it to the Kingdom because of the ankle tilt. Otherwise, the feet are pretty darn comparable. So, there's parts and bits and pieces I like about both of them. I think that they both fail in certain aspects. I think they both succeed in certain aspects. Let's talk about the articulation of the Kingdom lad. All right, so as far as the articulation for this guy goes, we have a head that can go left and right. It's pretty tight, and I guess it can go all the way. The arms, they can go all the way around. I do like how the wings here aren't on like a thing that you press to make the wings flap. I like that you can just move them around however it is you see fit to do what you want with it. I like that. I like that control more, personally. I don't really like the chest as much on this guy because with the Thrilling 30 you kind of adjust the shoulders. I think you push them in, and then when you do that, it forces the chest apart and stays apart. Here, I'm always pushing the chest together. It's not bad, it's just a nuisance. The arms, they can go all the way out. We have all the way around. We have 90-degree elbow. I don't think there's a... no, there's a wrist. And we have a bicep swivel. So, great arms. We have a waist. It's not perfect, it's good, but I do find that the little, I don't know what you call them, mandibles, I guess. I do find that they kind of get caught up when you twist the waist a little bit. I don't like that these antennae can move. I wish that they were molded in like they are with Thrilling 30, because I'm always knocking them out of alignment. Then we have the legs, they can go forward and back only a little bit because the tail here kind of gets in the way. We do have a nice deep knee to 90 degrees though. And we do have a bit of a thigh swivel. No more of a thigh swivel than the Thrilling 30, to be honest with you. The knee is deeper, but no more of a thigh swivel. And we have ankle tilt. So if I was to compare this one to the Thrilling 30, I would say the Thrilling 30 captures the silhouette of Waspinator better. But I got to admit that the articulation on this guy in general is better. Though he doesn't like... I don't find he likes to stand up as well as the Thrilling 30. I find I got to manipulate his heels and stuff a lot more to get him to stand up. I don't find him as solid on his feet as the Thrilling 30. But the advantages that this guy got, he does have ankles and ankle tilt. He does have a waist. He does have a full 90 degrees at the knee. The Thrilling 30 has a less than perfect knee bend because of transformation. Oddly, that one can go 90 degrees outward on the knee. Go figure. And it doesn't have ankle tilt and it doesn't have a waist. So, like, those things are disappointments. But I do find the bog legs on this one more obtrusive. I find that they are way, way thicker than they should be and way more obtrusive. They don't really hinder the articulation, but I don't know. They're so noticeable. But I can't really knock it too much. So in terms of looks, again, it's about an 8.5. In terms of the articulation, 9, maybe 9.5. The only reason it's not perfect is because I do find I got to do more fiddling and finagling if I wanted to stand up than I need to do with the Thrilling 30. He does like to tip over more, in my experience. Still, all that being said, I mean, it's not a bad Waspinator by any stretch of the imagination so far. Let's see how the transformation goes. So I'm going to close that up and lift this out. When you lift it out, you got a couple of pegs in here on the back. You really have to kind of like lift the whole body out and then flip it all up. I wish that this stayed tabbed in better or something, but it doesn't really seem to like to do that. Then we have the torso come down and we'll rotate that around. We'll close in the heel pieces. And this part here, this folding up part, is very similar to the Thrilling 30. Oh, by the way, his stinger here, if I can get it now, like, it still comes off. It still has a 5mm peg and can go held in the hand as the blaster. Doesn't unfold or anything like that. It's just, it's very plain. So we bring up that leg on the side and we bring up this leg here on the side for now. Okay, then we are going to take the shoulders and we're going to fold that shoulder in and fold that shoulder in. We're going to turn that leg out and we're going to turn this leg out. You'll notice that on the forearms we have these little rectangular notches, I guess, pegs, tabs. We're going to take these legs and the feet go together. There's a little tab here that goes into a little slot over here. There. Those feet are going to go together. And now we're going to kind of bring the arms down in under here. And when we do that, we're going to bring up the legs. And when we bring up the legs, on the inside here, there's a couple of little notches that go up over the sections on the hands there. Or the forearms, I should say. So I'm going to bring this down. And I'm going to bring this down. Oh, I got to turn the wrist too because they're supposed to be turned so that the, I guess, the palm is facing down. We're going to do that. Now I'm going to straighten this up. It's a lot here to kind of get straightened up, I find. Then I'm going to bring these up over and I'm going to bring that down. Hold on. There. I gotta straighten out this piece. I didn't have the tail straightened out. I had it left out. You gotta bring the tail in. My mistake. Put these feet together again. And then they come up over the arms. We straighten down a leg and straighten down these legs. We straighten down these legs and this leg. We bring the wings down. We straighten that up. We bring the little mandible pieces there together. And while I got to clean some stuff up and peg some stuff in essence, once everything's pegged in, this is Waspinator in his wasp mode. And after I kind of solidified a few things, boom, here we have Kingdom Waspinator in his wasp mode, as well as the Thrilling 30 Waspinator. I still think the best out of all three, honestly, is the Legends Waspinator that was released using the Thrilling 30 mold. But comparing these two, like, which wasp looks more waspish to you, looks more Waspinator to you? Again, I feel like the Thrilling 31 nails it. Not that the Kingdom one is bad, I just feel like the Thrilling 31 looks more cohesive, like a wasp, and nails it a bit better, but that's just me, and that's purely aesthetic. Truth be told, I don't think there's a loser here. If I didn't already own the Thrilling 30 or the Legends, I would get the Kingdom and I'd be quite happy with it and say, you know what, it's great, because honestly the transformation is not bad. I think the guy was getting about an 8, I think both of them were getting about an 8.5. And I think the Kingdom's transformation is, again, about an 8.5, maybe a 9. It's a good transformation. It's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, I do find that this one isn't as solid. Like, the way the legs go up over the section on the arms, I don't find it the most secure in the world. I do feel like this is solid. Funny enough, though, I feel like the robot mode of the Kingdom one is more solid than the robot mode of the Thrilling 30. There's no winner, there's no loser. I would say both of them are decent Waspinators for different reasons at about an 8.5. It really depends on you picking your poison, so to speak. And here we are once again, and here he is. So, it's not a bad Waspinator. If you don't have the Thrilling 30 or the Legends, this is a fun Waspinator to get. There's nothing wrong with it per se. I think the purple is too purple. I don't think it should have been this purple. I really don't. I do like the way the wings aren't like on a, I guess a mechanism like the Thrilling 30, so you can move them any way you want to get them in any position or out of the way, however you like. I do like that. I like the detailing of the yellow on the face and the yellow and black up on his antenna. I wish his eyes weren't, again, as pronounced purple. I don't like the antenna here. They move. I wish that they were molded in and smaller. I feel like they stick off a lot. I don't like the bug legs. First of all, the arm should have 2 legs on it, not 1, and they shouldn't be this big. I like the slender nature of the ones that are on the Thrilling 30 better. Overall, I kind of like the body proportions of the Thrilling 30 better. I feel like it embodies the look of Waspinator just a touch more. Not that these proportions are bad, but they feel a little stylized to me. Things that I like better about this, though, like, to continue, I like the yellow on the shoulder. I think that's cool. I like the ankle tilt. I like the waist swivel. I don't really like the yellow plastic that was used for the thighs or his stinger. It's too washed out, especially since the yellow that was used on the Thrilling 30 guy really matches the paint better here. In terms of the transformation, I like the way the arms move here better, but I don't really like the way the head splits. I always push the head together rather than the way that's done with Thrilling 30, where once you have it open, it kind of stays open. The transformation is okay. I do find the legs being as big as they are and sticking off cumbersome, but the articulation has definitely improved here. At the end of the day, I think I overall prefer the Thrilling 30, but I'm not going to say this is a bad Waspinator, because it absolutely positively isn't. And if this is the one that you're choosing to have in your collection, I completely understand it. I think I would enjoy this guy more, forgive him more for his faults, whatever you want to call it, if the bug legs were more slender than what they are, and if the purple was a little more washed out so it wasn't quite as deep. Outside of that, I gotta say, color me a bit surprised. It is better than I expected it to be. And if you have it as your Waspinator in your collection, I get it. I get it. Is it worthy of being used a couple more times? Probably. As Buzzsaw? Maybe. As Parasite? Maybe. And I don't think I would complain if I got those copies of the mold either. Let me know what you think about Waspinator. Let me know what you think about this mold in general. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Of course, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us. Don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, whether you realize it or not, whether you know how or not, you do make a difference somehow, some way to someone. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.